we go. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Farmhouse Fabrics. We brought Regena back.
I'm back.
She's been all over the place. Definitely out of state and traveling a lot. And
Yeah.
and Regena,
You know, all those the graduation with
Yeah.
the grandkids, and then staying with them for a week, and
that's right. She was the nanny. She
yeah,
was
I
the
was
nanny,
the night
and
nanny
then
for a week,
then the grandma.
and then got to go to graduation, which was wonderful. But
Man, I
it makes you
can't
sit
believe
there
it.
and think, how did that little redhead become a graduate?
She's so pretty. Oh, she's
and
a pretty
she is
girl.
so tall. She's 6'1".
She is
6'1". That girl's legs
Wow.
never stop, and I'm just looking like, couldn't I have some of that to stretch out?
Wow, she's 6'1".
I mean, she is just so tall. It's
Okay,
like,
so I know this is so stereotypical, but did she play basketball or anything like
volleyball.
that? Volleyball. Yeah,
Very good volleyball player.
because
Yeah.
you know it's like when my boys played football, I would always check out the boys in
See?
school that aren't playing, and like you'd be good on the football team. Talk to them. Why don't you let your kid play football? We need him on the football team.
That's right.
Because I was all about. I love sports. And
yeah, and they do too. And her sisters are like 5'7", 5'8".
wow, the twins.
The
They're
twins,
already
and they're one of them is in volleyball. She's really good. She was going to be back on the junior team next year, and the other one is the prima donna.
Oh.
She liked to go and sit on the sideline and primp.
You know who used to be that way and with my family started with the redhead.
Mhm.
It was Lila, and Lila had been on here before, and all her brothers and sisters would be playing ball, and she'd pull up a chair and sit there and watch them. And I mean, it was funny, but
Yeah.
and then the first thing she was very, very shy. But she went out for cheerleading when she was like 9 or something, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But now she's 100% into sports,
Isn't that
giving it
something?
everything she has. I mean,
Not
she's
Vivian. She's not going to do
so
that.
dedicated. Yeah.
Vivian, you'll find this really funny when I told you before that she told me one day she'd called and she was talking to me and she said, I said, well, where's Violet? And she said, well, she's at this driving course. You have to go take this driving course for 8 hours, Mimi, to learn to go get your driver's license. And I said, well, yeah, that's what everybody has to do. She said, I can find no reason to go do that. She said, when Violet can just drive me wherever I want to go.
Oh,
and she said,
that's
I
funny.
cannot waste my time going for 8 hours to do this. Well, now they have a big dilemma because if she ended up finally getting that driver's license, it took a while. But now they've been riding to school every day with Juliet.
Oh,
And
right.
Juliet had the parking space because she was a senior.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to park way away from the school. So their mother was telling me this next year, Juliet won't be there and they don't have a parking space. But in order to get a parking space, even if you're an under student, that you have to go for a 4-hour class at the school.
There's no way she wants to
The
do
twins
that,
are
right?
fighting over who's going to go sit in that class for 4 hours.
Yeah. Is it 4 hours at one time, or
Yeah.
is it? Oh.
Yeah, 4 hours at one time. You go take this course to park on the campus. And so she said, you know what? They're going to have to park in the apartments across the street over there and then walk across the street and then down to the school. It is quite a ways. And she said, and it's probably going to be raining, but I am not driving them to school. She said that is
Their
not
mom?
happening. Yeah. She said, I'm not doing it. They can decide soon enough who's going to go give it up and get that parking space.
Well, somebody's going to decide that because they
it'll
won't want
probably
to
be
do it.
Violet because they give in to Vivian all the time. And I said, no wonder she sets her spoiled rotten brat. You know, if they didn't give in to her, she would have to do these things.
Yeah.
But oh no, just didn't understand why you would have to go sit in that
I guess
class.
she's going to be a trophy wife, right?
Oh yeah.
Let her walk for about a week.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
see if she changes her tune.
Yeah, but I
That's
just thought
funny.
it was so funny because when she said, I just see no reason to go do that when they can drive me around. And then when I told her, I said, well, what happens if they're not there to drive you someplace? She says, oh, I just call Uber.
Oh
I
no.
was like, oh my
Oh,
goodness, Vivian, you got to get
no.
over this.
Right. Oh man.
So that's great dealing with teenagers.
Right. Well, you are planning a little trip with your mom.
I am. I'm going to take Mama down to Louisiana and visit and go have some fun in Biloxi on the coast and then go on over to our hometown and
You know what's your hometown?
Bogalusa.
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 I
Not
love
many
the
people
names,
know that.
right? I know, I love the names.
But I did meet a person that's sewing at one of the sewing classes that she did, I forgot what it was she sold in that area, but she knew of it, and it was like, oh my goodness, you've been to that stinky town. It's a paper mill town.
Oh.
And you can drive in the city limits and smell it. You know you're there. It's
We
like,
have a paper mill in the Augusta area, and there are certain times when the weather, I guess the
pressure,
barometric pressure or something is like a certain way, you're like, whew.
Oh, no, ours stinks all the time.
Oh, does it?
I don't know that there's many in my life fresh days.
Well,
Daddy said it was always dollar bills being made.
well,
My
when,
grandpa worked at our paper mill, and every time we passed, he said, "Ooh, it smells like money."
Yeah, Daddy said dollar bills, and I was like, well, I don't know if I ever want any. At that time I was a kid, I was like, I don't want anything stinks.
well, you know, Augusta has a beautiful airport. It's not large, but it's really
But
pretty.
it's downwind.
But it's right next to the paper mill, and then on the other side is
The chemical.
It was the water treatment plant.
Yeah.
Welcome to Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome
you get off the plane.
to
hold
the
your
garden.
nose.
Let's see, what are we called? The Garden City.
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
then also on the way downtown, you pass the meat packing
oh
plant.
yeah, the meat
And so,
packing.
I mean, you just get it all.
Yep, yep. It's nice and
It's like
fragrant.
it's really a draw to come over here to visit.
Yeah, it is. So, but Regena lives in a pretty town, Aiken. We're in Aiken County, South Carolina. We're right across the river from Augusta. And Aiken, the city of Aiken, is just, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes up the road,
Yeah,
right?
it's not that far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's very, very pretty, neat downtown. And
Aiken is a horse town.
yes.
Everything revolves around horses.
Mhm.
So if you come to Aiken, you're going to see horses.
Yeah, you will, and it's pretty.
I live in an equestrian subdivision. I have no horses. I
Oh.
don't like cleaning up after anything. So.
So usually they take that countryside and they divide it into 10-acre plots for people that have a horse,
ours
right?
goes anywhere from 5.5 to up to 11 acres, I think. Yeah. So we have 6, but we don't have horses.
But you have neighbors with horses.
We're surrounded with horses, and they're so pretty to look at. I don't mind seeing them out there. You know, I'm just not going to clean up after them. And they're expensive. You know,
Yeah.
the upkeep is so
Yeah.
expensive.
I'm going to ask the girls a question. They look puzzled. Are we all right?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see comments. She can't. So we're just trying
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
got one on here now. Leilani says you should smell the corn plants in central Illinois.
Oh, no thank you. If it gets worse than this.
I didn't know the corn
I
plants.
never-
I hadn't heard that.
Uh-uh.
Well, we borrowed from Regena's YouTube. Regena's YouTube and Facebook are Come Sew With Me. And you can sign up to see all of her videos and then join her as a private group because she doesn't want all those men that just want to date with you.
And Lord knows we get enough of those.
Yeah.
How they just love my personality.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
just
know,
can't
it's
wait
terrible
to meet
how
me. And
they-
it's like, you don't have a
Okay,
clue.
delete.
Talk to my husband. You would change your mind in a hurry.
So join her group, Come Sew With Me. She has thousands of people on there, and you all talk about the projects you're sewing. And in fact, I get excited
It's
when
really
I see
fun.
it. It is
And
fun.
I love to see the things because then I get more excited and it's like, oh, I really want to make that.
Yeah, I know it because you all try different patterns and things. And right
Yeah.
along that line, let me see if where's that piece of paper? There, I've seen they come up on Facebook. There are some ladies' blouses that I love, and if you've seen a pattern like this, tell me because I want to make it for myself. Let me show you this. This is such a cute pattern. It looks like a printed linen, and then here's the same thing. It has kind of maybe a boat neckline almost with a narrow collar, button in the front. It looks to me like it comes to right about here, and then it just has an inset piece or something
It
like
has
that.
some little pleats across
little
the front.
pleats.
Yeah.
But it's so cute, and I would like to make this blouse. And I'm looking for I want to go to the overhead. Overhead with us for our cameras works with YouTube and Facebook, and with Instagram.
Does that
I
have
just
like
have
a
to show
raglan
this up.
sleeve, or is it how
What?
is that slit? Because I can't tell. It's not like a set-in sleeve.
Oh, I can't see. Well, maybe.
See, there's nothing
Oh, Well, I don't like just the.
'Cause it comes
okay.
down. See, I
Let me-
like those kind of sleeves because then they don't fall off my shoulders. Doesn't look.
I like raglan
Yeah.
sleeves. Let's see if we can show it. So
Maybe you can pull in closer and see this and.
Yeah, if anybody knows
give
of
us an
a
idea?
pattern that looks like this, I wish you'd tell me because I love it. Can you see that little round collar?
Sue said I've been so tempted to order that shirt,
Okay, so you've
And-
seen it. Isn't it pretty?
and Jeanette says she loves the pattern and would wear it too.
I know.
Yeah.
And so it buttons to here, and then there's a seam right here with, and it's a little bit pleated right there, but it looks comfortable with the sleeves. And we've been talking about sleeves this week.
Okay, somebody order the blouse, make a pattern, and tell us. You
Well,
know.
I've been afraid to order it because sometimes you get scammed on Facebook
Yeah,
and you're
yeah, you
not
do.
sure if it's for real or not.
Right.
But I love the prints and everything. I think that looks comfortable. I like it.
The
that
prints
it's
are really
linen.
pretty. Yeah.
In fact, wouldn't this be pretty? We got a couple new prints in. I might as well show
Yeah.
this guy right here. That would be pretty in this blouse.
Uh-huh.
This is a new one that just came in this week, and it's a linen and cotton. And what does Christy call it? Something blue violet. Blue violet. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It actually has little roses on it, and honestly, I think it's going to be gone in a day. But
Yeah,
it's
'cause there's not much.
not much left, and right away it started selling, which you can imagine because that's cute. And it'll be
Yeah,
cool.
it's really pretty.
Cool
and
in the
it'll be
summer,
very
wouldn't
cool.
it? Really
Mhm.
cool. Yeah. So if you see a pattern like that for a lady, let us know because I am interested in that.
Yeah, it's a very pretty pattern. Very.
Denise said I love those blouses.
That
Y'all
is so
be on the
pretty. I just
lookout.
love that one.
Yeah, be on the lookout for sure.
Yeah.
I know I keep looking at them, and finally I thought I'm just going to print them up and then we're going to ask
Ask, find out.
because there are so many PDF pattern companies that I don't know anything about.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can.
Barbara's got a question.
Mhm.
She says, any tips on getting the stiffness out of 100% linen?
Wash it.
Washing does make a difference, and you can wash it.
I mean, I think that's what they do to that stone wash stuff. You know, I think they just wash it several
We can
times and then it just softens
Show them
up.
a new linen that we
Yeah,
just got
this is
in.
beautiful.
This is so cute.
These are all pretty.
Yeah, this just came in this week, and it's 100% linen. If you threw this in the washing machine, and then tossed it in the dryer for a little while,
Yeah,
it'd soften it
I
up.
think that you would be able to, and it may not even have, you know, don't wash iron it or anything. It'd just come out probably where you could just wear it that way.
I've done that with,
And I
I
had
made
too,
linen
yeah.
dresses for all my granddaughters,
Right.
and I put them in the washer and just brought them and hung them out to dry.
Yeah,
They
then they
look
were ready to go.
great, and the girls loved wearing them. It does give you a little bit of a. I'm going to go to the overhead and just show you this with these dots. I think these are fun. Look at that. They look like
Be so
eyeballs.
cute with in a blouse with the black pants, you know, and
It'd
be
be
very
great.
dressy, you
It'd
know.
be great.
Yeah.
So
Great.
Pat says the sewing workshop has a similar pattern without the collar. It's called Berwick Street Tunic.
Okay, well, we need to pull that up and have a photo of
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that looks a little different.
I'll show you two more, well, maybe three linens that just came in. This even, and two of these are black and white florals, but they are different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have more with solid black in here, really kind of abstract flowers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Abstract.
Yeah. Cute. But you're right, Regina. I think they would be nice with black
With
pants.
black pants would
Wouldn't that
be
look
sharp,
good?
Yeah.
And then we've got one more here, very similar. These have kind of sketched out flowers. Like great big old daisies. Look at that. Isn't that fun?
This one would be really cute in like a jacket over it with a black shell and black pants.
Yeah.
That'd be a very nice
Yeah.
outfit.
I like the
Mm-hmm.
less abstract, more like sketched out or drawn out flowers.
Mm-hmm. So nice colorway, nice blockways, I guess you could
Yeah.
call it.
I don't
To
want to
show
hit
you
you.
for the, yeah.
Boom.
Just knock me out. It's okay. Then we have this one. It's
Yeah,
in blue and white.
this is pretty. The blue and white. This looks like a watercolor.
Yeah, this
And
one's real
This
pretty.
one we call Ripples Bloom or Ripples
This
of
is
Bloom
so
or something.
soft
Yeah.
already.
It
It's
is.
like
This is a little lighter weight,
it feels
but
heavenly.
yeah, it's gorgeous. So I'll show you
Just
this.
like to touch this one.
Yeah, it's smooth, isn't it? It feels
Mhm.
good. Isn't that pretty? Blues. The blues are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So any of these patterns, these blouses would look good in
Mhm.
these.
I agree with Sandra. She says love all the linens.
Yes,
know.
I definitely agree.
They're so cool in the summertime,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had some really hot weather already this year. I can't believe it. All right. So before we show you seersucker,
then we have this little,
oh, which one? Oh yeah, well
This.
let's show the linen kit.
yeah.
Oh, this is cute, you guys.
I'll hold it up here.
Yep.
And then we'll put it over here.
This little adorable girl. Okay, I'll show you this. It's called from Tiny Folk Patterns. The top is Dahlia, Dahlia. The pants are jade pants, and they come together, I think. And aren't
Yes.
they? They're maybe on sale for like $6 right now, or they were
I
earlier.
think till the end of the month, so 31st
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. You get it for like 6.
Because we just ordered the pattern.
And they come up from
Oh,
3 months to 6 years.
yeah.
I mean, I
Man.
can't see that on a 3-month-old, but
No.
you
But
know,
how sweet is that?
I know they're
And
adorable.
so we have the kit for both for this whole outfit. We've got the kit right here. Everything you need. You have to order the
And
pattern
this fabric is absolutely adorable in
It's
this.
cute.
I mean,
It
it
is
is so
so-
cute.
from perfect for her too.
This is the patterns you wanted me to show you.
So the top is
So-
adorable. I think that the straps are not sewn on. I think that they're just oh, the pants could have a ruffle, could have
Yeah.
straps and a ruffle. Look at that.
Can do that with the pants.
But it looks to me like, can you see it on here? The
Agree
top.
with Denise. She said, I love that pattern in the fabric. I would also love an adult version. Me too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Except I'm not going to wear it too cropped.
No.
It'll be a little bit longer.
It's adorable on her.
I love the pants.
Dahlia and jade. The pants are jade, and you can get them where you just have like the paper bag top, or you can put the straps, suspenders, and the ruffle.
So cute. It's such
Yeah.
a cute pattern.
There's a lot out there. We should be able to find that blouse that we like.
Somebody's gonna
Right?
find it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
put everybody on the move.
Yeah.
So
Get them going.
we talked in our newsletter. We shared one of Regena's videos on making the double ruffled angel sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And then we asked you, I laughed when I read all their
All the
responses.
comments?
Yeah, the comments about angel sleeves and what kind of sleeve do you like? And so many of you, Regena and I, feel the same way about this because we like to cover our arms at our age.
Definitely.
And I know we feel the same way.
Yes.
And so a lot of you said something about did you call it flying squirrels? My grandkids call it flying squirrels. And but yeah, we need it loose enough. I like it loose enough. I want it 3/4 length so I'm not too hot. I don't want it too tight. I want it to be kind of loose, and this is the linen blouse. It's nice and cool. And but for kids, we talked about using like 2 layers, right, Regina? And you've done it before.
There's nothing cuter.
You've done it before with lace and fabric, and with 2 different fabrics, and that kind of thing. So Regina has a tutorial on her Facebook. It's YouTube. I can't even get my words out. And so I went and watched it so I could see exactly how she did it, and it's good. I pulled. You can talk about it, Regina, because this is the pattern I pulled. The Anna Catherine pattern by Bonnie Blue Designs. So what did you do? Like this is the
Okay, when I started out, I just took the regular pattern piece, and then I decided how much I wanted to show out from under that pattern piece with the smaller piece on top. So I just laid another piece down, and then I started cutting. You know, I decided how much I wanted. So of course you had to add the seam allowance or the fold there, but I wanted about a 1/2 inch or so, 3/4 of an inch on some, and so I just cut it off. You know, I just measured up and cut off that much and made a new pattern piece for the smaller piece, and then laid it back on top of the other one. And this is something Sally and I were talking about this morning. When I made this, I thought the sleeve should have come down to a point. Like it should have rounded off more and come to a point at the end.
I'm going to have you show them on both. Yeah.
Okay. Because when it's like this and it's folded, it's going to look like this on the end. You can see how that looks. Either way,
Well,
wherever we're at.
I'll go back to the overhead.
Okay. Yeah, you can see that it's more of a cut off here, and it's wide. Well, your seam allowance is not that wide. So when I first did these and sewed it in the sleeve, I turned the sleeve, and I had this with raw edges sticking out.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. So you just go back. I went back and I just did it like Sally said, a football. I just traced it right down and made it come right to a point. And that way, when you pull it up, you know that point is in your seam allowance. And so that's what my suggestion to do that.
Well, I agree, Regina, because I kept looking. The first time I ever made this, I kept wondering why was there this much? Because her seam allowances are 3/8 of an inch. And so then I thought, well, is she wanting us to go all the way under the arm? Because some are made that way, where you go all the way under the arm and you make a seam and the ruffle goes all the way around the armhole.
But it doesn't do that.
But I can see on her, I can see here on the directions that is not the intention. Because it comes, what did you say, Regina? Where does it come?
It's about 1 1/4 or 1.5 inches up from the seam, side seam. And I don't even mark my pattern pieces anymore. I just know that that's how far up you want it to come, and so I just I measure up and mark that.
Right.
And then you really need to slant that in, because it needs to come out to a point like this. It's like it's got to be smaller.
Right.
So that when you come down here, you're going to catch that end, and if you don't, it's going to show when you turn your seam.
Yeah, you've got to catch all those raw edges in the seam.
And that's a lot that's left over, because you see your seam is here. Well, look at
That's
that.
right.
It's probably 3/4 of an inch is
So
sticking out.
the easiest way to change that, which I didn't do on here, the easiest way to change that is to actually
Just come down.
angle it down like this. Well, I can see this.
Yeah.
This doesn't work that great, does it? This doesn't work that great. But just angle it down this way.
And just make sure you have it comes to a point at the end.
Because all of it's going to go into the seam of the armhole anyway.
It is.
So it's fine for it to be angled like that.
And that way, then you don't have to get angry and go back and pick out that and redo your seam, because it's very annoying.
Yeah.
To have some sticking out when you get finished. And if sometimes you just don't pay attention. And then when you get done with that part, then you've got something sticking out you got to go back and figure out. And I've had to open a seam, from the lining and get that back in there.
Yeah.
And so that's not an easy thing sometimes.
Yeah. So I ran around here trying to find some things that kind of looked cute together, and sewed them together. I've noticed, like I pulled out, here's a McCall's pattern, 7558, and this little pattern actually has the angel sleeve that goes all the way under the armhole. And they also don't cut it out on the fold. They have the exact same shape as the
it's
this
this shape. It's just
same
not
shape.
double.
It's not double. And what they have you do is turn your
Edge under
under
do a
twice
top
and
stitch,
top
yeah.
stitch. But the other thing you can do, you can put
You
a
can just
rick
double it.
rack or a,
Yeah.
a rick rack. You could put a lace on an edge. You can
Right,
put a
mhm.
lace. You can put this one. I put the lace as the wider ruffle, and the fabric as the more
Mhm.
narrow ruffle. And this one, I put the fabric as the wider ruffle, and the lace as the more narrow ruffle. So
Yeah, you can change it up and do all kind
Right.
of things with them, and they are so cute when they're all finished. You'll be so happy that just that little bit of extra on it trims it up.
you can also put, if it's a check or a gingham stripe, you can cut it on the bias.
Yeah.
And when I said in the newsletter about it being a football shape, it really is close to a football shape. But see, I would come all the way down and make that a point.
Yeah.
And this, make that a point. And then this is on the fold, which makes it so simple. And then you just sew your gathering threads right along here, and then
And if you want lace on it, you can go back and just do it. Add your lace to the edge of this with a tiny zigzag.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to. I mean, just because it's folded doesn't mean you can't put lace on
Yeah.
it or trim. You can put something over the top of it. You know.
That's right.
So yeah, you can do all kind of things to these sleeves.
And you might decide
That is so cute.
that you want it to be even wider.
Yeah.
You know, so you can cut it wider. It's fine.
And so that's what I did. I used some 6-inch Swiss trim, you know, and cut just the shape, and it was so pretty. So
Yeah, I love that.
if you have extra pieces left over, if you're making something small, sometimes you'll just have the right size sleeve piece you need.
That's right.
And
In fact, with these, I went looking around here to find
Yeah.
some scraps. And
You got a few of those.
yeah, we do have a few scraps. And then I wanted to show you this other little thing.
now this is a good tip right here. I'm going to bring this back and show you how she was doing this under the sleeve, even though it's not a puff sleeve.
So this is just a polyester organza because I wanted to grab a polyester and because it wash and wear and all that. When you have a puffy sleeve, what did I do with those dresses? Man, I'm telling you what, I
even
am
if you use
losing
this,
everything.
This is puff, and just think it's
Okay,
longer.
okay. But I had two dresses that I had pulled out. Oh my goodness! I'm telling you what, I can't find anything. they were hanging over there, and one was
I see where they were missing over there, so
I
you
know,
had to go somewhere with them.
What did I do with them? Anyway, sometimes when you have a little puffy sleeve and you want that sleeve to stay poofed out, I'm looking to see, can I find one? If you cut, I'll show you this. I mean, I don't even need a pattern piece for this. I came over here and I grabbed, can you see that
That's their football shape.
football shape right here?
Hard to see though with
Yeah,
that
I can
fabric.
put that over here. I'll put it on here and show on here. Can you see it there? Maybe. Okay. Make my own little puffy thing.
Makes her own little angel sleeve.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
It is, but this time it goes,
Under.
yeah, and then it pokes out into the shoulder.
Yeah.
So this is what I do because I like to cut it on the bias. So, and I don't even have a pattern piece for this. I just kind of fold it in like this. I'm going to flip it around this way so it's easier for me to cut. So now it's on the bias. I've got my point folded in like that. And then just take my scissors, kind of figure out how much I want. And it's not an exact science, but here's my little
There's her little piece
Yeah.
she just cut out.
So then I would go, I didn't serge this, but I would serge around the raw edges. I would serge right around here. And then I ran 2 gathering threads around, this is a fold right here, fold on this part. Ran 2 gathering threads around the rounded part. And so then I ended up with this little guy right here. See if you can see it on here better. And you pull up I always pull the bobbin threads. We have discrepancy here, but I pull the bobbin threads.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
I pull the top thread,
Yeah.
cut the bottom thread.
I
She does the opposite.
I do. And guess what? It works both ways.
Either way. But
So-
just don't pull them both at the same time.
Right. So here we have this little guy right here. Can you see him in here? It's all gathered around kind of like you were doing a rose.
Yes, Tara's got a beginning
But
of a flower.
what in the world did I do with those I had 2 dresses I took off that shelf. They had little puffy sleeves, so I was going to show you how that worked. Man, oh man. I'm telling you what.
There's a puppy one.
This one right here.
No,
I
that
can
little
show.
red one you passed up had a little puppy sleeve.
Yeah, I can show it on here.
It's a little baby dress, but
Here's a baby dress. So see how and of course this is way too big for here, but if you put this little ruffled thing on the inside of the sleeve, it's a header. It's called a header. And then sew it. You would sew it around
and your
on
seam.
in the seam, and of course the sleeve would be bigger. It wouldn't be size 0.
With a 2-year-old
I'm
sleeve
so
insert.
prepared, right? I'm so prepared. Anyway, it holds that little guy out, and it's not scratchy.
That tells you what, I mean, this shows you what you have to do with it. And even if you did it on this piece, you know, if this
Yeah,
was the
you could
gathered up
do-
sleeve,
uh-huh.
you could do this
You could.
and put it under this and match your seams together right there. And then it would hold that little sleeve. You can see that it makes a little cup like it
It
know,
does.
And so it holds the seam out and has the same thing. This would be closed up.
Right. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So you can see
Yeah.
this. I think it's a wonderful tip. I hadn't thought of that or heard of that. Of course, I wouldn't think of it, but Sally did.
Well,
And,
it's because I used to sew
You did.
like prom dresses
Right.
and all this kind of stuff, and older
Yeah.
people's like adult things, and some of them came with that pattern piece
Yeah.
where you would put it in there to hold that puffy sleeve out.
Right, and you don't have to put padding or anything in the shoulder
Right,
seams and
that's
stuff.
right.
But this is awesome. I love this idea.
Yeah.
So I'll have to use this next time I do my dress with little puffy sleeves because I think
And
it's cute.
When you cut it on the bias, it flows pretty.
Right. Yeah.
It has a
well,
good
I mean,
flow
it just
to
stands
it.
up there and
Yeah.
it's really
Looks
cute.
like a rose.
Yeah.
There we go, people. There's my corsage.
If
So-
you make a few extras, you can use it for a flower.
Yeah.
Catherine wants to know what fabric you use to make your football.
For this guy or for these?
For
This? Oh, this. I
That
went
was-
walking around and I found a roll of polyester organza that I don't even think it's on. It's what color would you call that?
Oh.
We'll have to put this online. But it's
Latte.
a latte with cream, right?
Yeah.
It's a polyester organza because polyester organza
It's really soft. It's not going to be like
it's
the,
not scratchy.
the scratchy, stiff stuff.
And it holds the shape really well. It's real lightweight. Other times, if you can't see through a garment, I've even put padding inside of here before I closed it up, a little bit of fiber fill, and that really does
Really does.
holds it out. Yeah. So there are a lot of little tricks that you can do like this. I could have
Yeah.
learned that from doing alterations before because
That's what I was going to say. You probably did because when you
Yeah.
buy things, if you're taking them apart or do anything, I don't do
can-
alterations, so
you can learn a
I
lot
wouldn't know
from
all that. But you can
alterations.
because I have taken some things apart to use the fabric for other things, and you're looking at the stuff on the inside and thinking, wow, look at what they used here.
Well, there are a lot of layers on they use a whole lot of layers, especially on
Prom dresses?
yes.
8 layers to a
Yeah.
skirt. Yeah, I know all about those.
I'm even thinking the bodice, Regina.
It's
The
like, oh, I
bodices.
know. You just start looking and they have just layer and layer and layer of these little
Yes.
things, you know, thin
Yeah.
things. But
I know when people ask me to hem their dress, I'm like, how many layers does it
yeah,
have?
it's
Right.
like, no, when they asked me, I was like, no. Right up front, no. I can send you to somebody else, but I'm not doing it.
Well, I can't wait for you to see some little tiny wonderful things that Regina brought with her.
I can tell you. I told them that I've shown these a few weeks ago, and the more I made, the cuter they get, and the more I get excited over them. and so now I have a whole counter full just for me, and I've made doubles on most of them.
Oh.
And my grandkids absolutely loved them. They played and played. So Sally's got to get this embroidery machine up and running back here,
I know.
and everybody can do it, and they'll love these things. But
So
they were-
where can they find these?
these are treasure tins by Evie Hawkins on A Bit of Stitch. If you go to A Bit of Stitch, you'll find them under treasure tins, and she has a free pattern on there. And I didn't bring that one today to show you how cute that one is, and you'll love it for Christmas. It's a scene with camels going across the desert.
Cute.
I mean, it is so cute, and I bought these little tiny
I'm gonna
camels to
slide
put
it
in
down
it.
so that
And I
with the
made
overhead
one
they
that
can-
was like
Whoops,
nighttime
whoops.
because I used a darker thread in the background, and then I did one with a lighter blue for a daylight scene, and they are just beautiful. And this one is my little construction zone because I knew my grandson was going to love this, and he did.
Okay, this is pretty awesome, you guys. Evie, I mean, she's so
Abby knows, and Abby's
creative.
busy right now creating wedding
Oh
attire.
yeah, she is.
And but I just absolutely love these things.
Look at these are micro machines.
These are little actual micro Tonka trucks
Yeah.
that actually work. And it dumps out. You know, I went to Hobby Lobby and
look
got
at
these
that.
little.
Hey, these are metal. A lot
Yeah.
of the old micro machines were plastic.
No, these are
Oh,
metal.
that's why they cost so much.
Yeah, and
Oh.
so I bought these little pom poms like dirt. You know, you can fill up the little
Yeah.
truck with the dirt, and they're just the cutest little things to take along. And on her directions for this one, on the last page, you can print this out on cardstock. These little
Oh,
signs and
that was
things.
something she had that you
Yeah.
could print out.
Construction zone, yeah, and her little signs and stuff. My grandson sat at the table playing with these things.
Look at these. The tires go.
Yeah.
The bucket loader thing goes up and down.
How old's your grandson?
He's 4. Yeah.
I think I like these as much as my boys do.
I think. Oh, I said I would love to play. I mean, I play with these in there every time I get them out. It's like, oh, look at this, how cute.
Oh,
And I
my
kind of go into a different
goodness.
zone, but you know, I just
Oh,
think
this
they're
is
adorable.
So cute. Okay, Evie
And-
Hawkins, A Bit of Stitch.
Yeah, and here's one for Christmas. I did this one, and you're gonna ask when you get these little trucks were on Amazon, and they're like $9.28 or something a piece, and you know, so you have to suck it up if you want to play with your
I'm
little
gonna
trucks.
See
If you can see it
if
up
they can
close.
see it on the other.
Sue said, will it close with the...
It does close with everything in it, and so you have a little Altoid tin in your pocket with they can take it wherever they go. You can stick it in your purse. This is the Christmas one. I don't know if you can, how close you can get to that. But they are so cute.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Then they just close right.
Close right up.
And these little things I just ordered off of Amazon. If you go in there looking for micro mini, and they have to be less than about an inch and a quarter. And so when you get the little tiny things, you know, it's like, I don't know how much I've ordered. They're like $6 for a bag of these things, but you get 82 pieces in a bag. So, you know, there were some I ordered that were too big. And so then I just kept those and gave them to the kids, and they stacked those all around the animals and things
Oh, yeah,
outside, you know. And they played with those.
Look how cute this is.
And this little Christmas one is really, really cute.
It is.
But some of the things get a little bit more, you know, the little pieces get a little more expensive, but this is the gnome. I know that gnomes are taking over, or have taken over, and so this one, where's this one?
Oh.
Over here.
Yeah, my son had to get a gnome from the Masters.
Oh,
What are you
yeah.
gonna do with that?
This is a little
he
gnome
gonna
with the
resell it?
mushroom house.
No, he's keeping
Oh my
it for now.
goodness,
Yeah.
this is cute.
These are the little mushrooms, and
Wow.
these I had to
Oh,
order.
look at your little
A little snake in
snake
there.
and the
Little
frog, turtle.
Terry wants to know if you can link the trucks.
Yeah, I guess you can go on Amazon and do that.
I mean, these
Look
are
for micro
actually
mini.
Hasbro.
Hmm
They're made in a place that will not be named,
Has everything else in these little
and
tins.
you better get them quick, right? Oh, but they're metal. They're
And these little
awesome.
little guys, I mean, they're just so cute. I hope you can see it and see how cute they are.
You
Nobody-
hold it up closer to
Even
Yeah.
looking at it on a camera, because I show them pictures and they say, "Oh, those are cute." And then when I showed it to them in person, they get even more
it's hard.
excited.
It's hard to
Because
tell
the
the
picture
scale.
just doesn't do it justice.
Right.
These things are like half an inch. These little people
Yeah.
and stuff.
And look at this little gift.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Little penguin. He's just so
Look at
cute.
they're adorable.
So as I said before, I've made all of them, and I'm gonna, keep my set for great grandkids. But also, if I have to go in a nursing home or somewhere, I can sit and play with them all day and fight over my toys because I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody else in there is gonna want them.
That's right.
But they're just the cutest things. So go look up
Love
Evie
that.
and find these. And the,
Yeah.
and the ones that I was talking about, I think it's called the Starry Night, and that one's free. So you can go and
Oh,
download
you
that one.
brought that one with you.
Yeah,
I
and
think the
practice
last time.
that one. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, it's super easy. That one goes really quick.
Did
And-
you say where you got the gnomes?
The gnomes, yeah, off Amazon. You go on there and look, and these are just tiny little guys
So you get like a whole bag full of little things.
of gnomes.
Oh, of gnomes. Okay.
Then I ordered the mushrooms in a whole little bag.
Okay, so they
And the
came
little
separately.
frogs. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you got you
Got a
have
menagerie
craft
of,
menagerie of
yeah.
little tiny things.
Yeah.
So you're starting a business with all this?
Yeah.
No, you come to visit me, that's your gift.
Yeah, that's
You get a little bag of animals and things.
Wow.
But these are just so cute. And like the ladybugs, I decided the ladybugs when they came had a sticker on the bottom, so I was like, that made it easy. They just stay right where they're
Oh,
at.
I wondered why they were there.
Yeah, I just stuck them in to keep them on there.
I like the snake and the frog and
Yeah.
turtle.
And so then you just close it
Oh
up. And
my goodness.
the stickers Evie sells for $2 a piece, and you just cut it out, and she sends it to you. They're on sticker paper, and they're already ready to go. You just cut it out and stick it
Oh,
to your
for the
tin,
top
so you
of
know
your
what's
tin.
in the tin. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
You
they're
said you could sell kits.
yeah, right.
Yeah. You definitely could. I can't
If
believe
you
this
need some
tree
little
fits in
little
here.
creatures, let me know. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
This one might be
that
a tight
little tree.
squeeze.
He's poked a dent in the bottom.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit
He's a
taller.
little bit. Yeah.
It didn't matter. I
Yeah.
just closed him.
Okay. Well,
But,
I don't want to squish
yeah.
it down though. Oh, I see. You've got it.
Then you just turn it upside down.
Ah.
Yeah, because the
Look at that.
thick part is the
That's
top
so.
of it.
Evie does have kits as
Yeah,
well.
Evie
that
does
do
have
include-
kits.
Oh, include the little parts
Yes.
and pieces.
It includes everything in the kit you can get from her, and I would
Ooh.
highly suggest doing that instead of
Yes.
ordering all the. Unless you're planning to do a lot of them,
Yeah.
order the kits from Evie because she put I ordered the first kit when I was going to do the spring one.
Mm-hmm.
So cute! I was so excited, and I just made it, and it was done. I didn't have to order anything and wait for Amazon to deliver the next day. But
Yeah, the next
know.
day. I mean, I
had to
actually
wait a whole
had
day?
to wait a day for them to
Wow.
deliver.
yeah, I know. Isn't that awful? 8 hours later, I got them.
Man.
But Evie's, she has the whole kit, and the sticker comes in the kit. I mean, everything to make this little thing, she has it
Wow.
together. So definitely worth ordering the kit from her.
Well, everything she does is such quality
Oh, it
anyway,
is,
and
and-
really artistic and beautiful.
And the digitizing on these is just unbelievable. I mean, they come out so cute, and I thought, oh, just got to do them all.
Yeah.
Got one more to go. One more. I ran out of time at home.
Aw.
So, yeah.
Well, Regina brought a bishop. We don't have this pattern, but I know you can order it somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think
This peanut butter and jelly
Peanut Butter
kids.
and
Peanut
Jelly
butter and
has
jelly
it.
kids
Yeah.
has this pattern.
it's called a Daisy.
It's by McCall Modes, and they're out of Australia.
Australia, yeah. So you can order it from them also, but
Mhm.
you can get it in the States too. But it's the cutest
Oh,
little
can
pattern.
you get it in the States?
Yeah, well, from peanut butter and jelly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
that's
play,
what,
you know, the
you're saying you
shops.
could order it from
Yeah, you just
McCall
order
out of
it from-
Australia,
yeah.
or you can get it. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly has it. She does such pretty things.
And this has become my new favorite bishop because there's no seams in the sleeves. And so when you're trying to pleat this up, everybody has issues with those seams in the the pleater. So this one has no seams in it. And so it goes together really quick, really fast. I mean, just really cute, you know. And you can finish the armholes before you even smock it. I mean, you can finish it and then smock it, and
Then you're done.
yeah, and then just add. It has buttons in the back.
Yeah, we went glitzy.
Yeah.
Glitzy on these buttons.
And I was
so
like,
cute.
okay, I guess I was having one of those days. When I went to look for buttons, I was like, what am I gonna put on this? And I looked through all my buttons from Farmhouse, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just not feeling it, you know.
Yep.
And so I was like, man, we're gonna go
Sparkle.
shiny.
Sparkle.
So we did, and
What little girl would not love that?
yeah, so it's just a fun bishop to do. I'm gonna get one together tonight so I can smock this weekend on my trip.
Ah.
And,
Hey, when are you leaving?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
So yeah, so besides packing my clothes and finish washing what's left of the house and getting everything ready to go and getting this pleated, and I'll be out the door at 8 o'clock, trust me. About 10 minutes till, because my mother will be sitting on the side of the street waiting at 8
Oh.
o'clock. Yeah,
And how old is your mom?
she's 91.
Man. Isn't that incredible?
I go to pick her up and she's always sitting outside
Oh.
and ready to go.
Oh, man.
It's like,
That's
so,
amazing.
and when I say I'm going to be there at 8, I'm there at 8.
Yeah.
You know, might be a few minutes before, but it won't be past 8, I can tell you. So, anyway, that's my
funny.
little
That's so sweet.
dress.
I wonder if anybody has any questions about how this goes together, because it's
it's
just,
different. It's
different,
one
but
piece,
it's pretty awesome.
and these directions, you have to follow these, and the paper comes in here, the grid that you draw your pattern on, and she tells you how to angle it a little bit, and then it's just one long piece, like, you know, this big. I think
Don't
this
you
was,
cut it out in the other direction?
you cut it out the other direction.
Yeah,
Your
like
fabric is
you would
folded
cut
this
out
way.
a border print.
Yeah, then you fold it over,
Okay.
and then you put the front of it on that fold.
Right.
So all the rest of it's going down the fabric.
Yeah.
And then you just cut out, and there's when you cut the front and the back, you're going up, and then it cuts out around like this across, and so you have this like a T-piece with a
Oh,
bit in the
right,
top for the arms. And I mean, it's so clever, and then it goes through the pleater so easy. You know, you used to have to roll, and you don't want
Yeah.
it off and all this. Well, this
Right.
just rolls right up and goes right through.
Wow.
So it's a really fun, fast bishop.
You know what? I'm going to go to the overhead and let's look at the under the arms and how easy and cute this is. Just like it kind of rolls around, and yeah. Just a side seam, folks. Just
Yeah,
a side
just a
seam.
side seam. I'm not even over there. So it's just, there's a side seam. There's no seam up here in the flutter
Yep.
part. And she
Look at
also
that.
has it with a little sleeve. I mean, it does have a little sleeve in this pattern, so you can do the sleeve.
Oh, and the sleeve is sewn on in a different way.
Yeah.
I see that.
But I love the flutter sleeves on Bishop, so it's,
Yeah, me too. That's so cute. All right.
and so then on this springy looking
So
fabric,
if
I
you get it
decided
from
to go
Peanut Butter
darker.
and Jelly Kids, tell Anna Marie that we sent you.
That's right. Yep. So I hope that you'll
But
find it
buy
as
your
easy as I
fabric
did.
from us.
Yeah. Your fabric comes from here. Your pattern comes from Peanut Butter and Jelly Kids.
I wonder if they have a PDF for this.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, that's another thing you could find
Another
out.
thing to look up and see.
Yeah,
And if
All
it
right.
is, then you'll be really happy to print it out that way.
man.
They should have actually done that, so I'm thinking about it to start with. They should never have printed up this.
But that's pretty neat. I
But it
just
is
think
cool.
the it's interesting how the sleeve is sewn in there.
But see, there doesn't look like there's anything sewn in here.
No, but it's got to be just right along here. See that?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But you can't tell it from that
Yeah.
fabric. Yeah. So those were my makes in the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's
It's
good.
like,
That's
you
good.
know, a little bit trickle up and down at a time.
What are the sizes on that pattern?
On this one, a 2 to 8. It's usually after at an 8, nobody's
And the
gonna wear
name
it.
is Daisy.
Yep,
Daisy. So we got a shipment of seersucker in, and Regina had brought some patterns that she's probably gonna
I'm definitely gonna make.
make the. So we can just stack these. These are poly cotton seersuckers, and you know, we've talked at length about seersucker is not as puckery as it used to be, and this definitely shows pucker, but it's not quite as puckery as some,
Right.
but it's still really cool.
This is so soft, and it would be so nice for summer. Oh my goodness! In these tiered dresses,
Yes.
you don't have to.
So we've got
iron.
checks, we've got stripes,
Look at this. These are just beautiful.
we got another stripe. Just like 60 inches or 56 inches. I like this.
This one is really pretty.
With the different widths of stripes. So pretty. And then we probably have more. We got a truckload in, and Chrissy's been busy putting them on and trying to
They have more to
decide.
come. So not.
Yeah, they're more like
There are some more
this
pretty
same
ones.
little check in a brighter blue.
Yeah.
And and this is really pretty with the different size stripes, vertical. This is a stripe pattern, like 1/4 inch, something like that. And then what do we have down here? We have like a royal, I don't know, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch check. Really, really pretty.
This would be really pretty in pants for summer.
Yes, it would be pretty pants.
Yes, because it would be so cool. I mean, really cool.
It's lightweight.
So I think it would make
But
perfect pants. If you make the
would
big
be.
leg pants,
Yeah,
you know, wide leg,
Isn't that pretty, you guys?
it's really
Yeah.
pretty.
Blue and white, so summery and good.
Yep.
We can go this way.
Okay.
This is a pretty blue too.
Mm-hmm. I've seen this in the store in men's shirts.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen these.
Well,
And I
down
thought it was
here,
really pretty because they're so cool and
people wear seersucker, men and women.
Yeah, they do, 'cause it's cool, lightweight.
It's cool and lightweight. It's awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So this would make a nice shirt for your little boys or your husband or.
Show them the patterns that you brought
Oh,
with
these
you.
are the ones that I want to do. This one is for my youngest daughter, Kaylee. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this little tiered dress with the puffy sleeve. I think she'll like it. I went in the store the other day, and that's all you see. I mean,
you do see
basically.
a lot of those.
Yeah, so I thought, oh, she'll like this in one of these summery blues.
So
And then
that's Kwik Sew. What's the number on that?
3674
Mhm,
girls.
mhm.
And then this one is Missy Kwik Sew 3632. And I'm going to make this little dress over here for my older daughter. She'd like that one. And when I saw these blues, because they both love blue, and I thought that'll be perfect,
That will
you
be-
know,
That's pretty. Which one
Yeah.
you gonna make for her?
this one.
Oh,
Just a simple,
nice.
yeah. And then Kaylee could have the one with the ruffle.
Okay, so if you lay them down here, I'll go to the overhead so they can
Yeah.
see if we can. Yeah, look at that.
See, these stripes will be so pretty and flowy in that.
So tell me which one Kaylee's
This
gonna
is
get.
Kaylee's,
Okay.
and this is Casey's.
Okay. All right. Cute.
So they'll have a new spring summer dress.
Yeah. And Kwik Sew has lots of sizes in. The girl size is 7 to 14, and Mrs. sizes. We don't have these, but I'm just telling you, if you can ever get
Yeah.
Kwik Sew, they have a lot of sizes. Extra small to extra large in this one. This is a nice pattern.
Mm-hmm. Makes a nice top too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I had to.
Teresa said they also make the that daisy pattern in a daisy baby bubble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that would be very cute.
It would be really sweet. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think what else. You know, we had a lot of fun last week when my husband and his buddies joined us, and we had some great feedback from everybody, and so we hope that they'll come back and visit again.
That would be really
They're already
fun.
trying
Yeah.
to come up with some other stories.
I'm
and-
sure they have plenty of them.
They do have plenty of stories, and you guys had such a great response, and even my sons watched it. They told me after church on Sunday, Mom, we just laughed and laughed when we saw Mr. Thompson and the things that he was talking about, because they've known him all their lives, and he keeps everybody in stitches. So that was really different last week, but
Never know around Farmhouse.
Yeah.
Jerry said they were hilarious.
Oh,
You never know what's going to happen out here.
that's Herman Thompson. He was the talker. He called me this week and said, "Are you still my friend?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course," because he thought, did I talk too much? No, because Joe and Cliff are not going to be.
They're not the
gonna
talkers.
No, they're not talkers. No.
Well, you got to have one in the group, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cliff looked like he was about to want to exit.
I know. You have to get him to scoot in a little more
It's like,
because
he
he had to
like,
get 3 people in front of this little camera, and it's like, okay, you gotta sit closer than you're accustomed to.
You should have put him on the back row between them, and then
That's where I was. I was
Oh,
standing back
okay.
there because I thought, I don't know.
she might have to reach out and keep them grouped
Yeah,
in.
that's right. Scoot in a little bit. Scoot in.
And maybe put him in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Then he couldn't get away.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
That light, some light keeps going brighter.
Well, it's our overhead. It has a mind of its own.
okay.
It has a remote, but sometimes it just comes on
Yeah.
and off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm so like, okay, so
We
they
turn
dim
it
the
on
light.
when we go to the overhead.
Yeah, to try and get more
Oh,
light
okay.
for the overhead. We've been trying to upgrade
That's
our
funny
light
because I
system.
thought I was going crazy here a minute ago.
But
Mary
we-
Lynn says next time have their wives.
Well,
It would be a little.
that probably wouldn't work.
Mm.
But
You know how wives and men are. They don't mix, so you got to have the fun group and then the other fun group.
Yeah.
So.
Herman's wife, she doesn't enjoy his humor as much as we do.
Now, do we enjoy our own husbands?
Yeah,
No.
No.
But somebody else might,
That's
you know.
right.
So, yeah.
It was so funny because Joe actually took notes and wrote some things down. I didn't think he'd have to, because when Herman's here, there's always plenty to talk
Plenty
about.
to pause.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Taking notes to.
Lisa said she shared it with her husband, reminded me of him and his friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
I bet there were a lot of
love
wives that
hearing
did that.
When
yeah.
she might have been the one that told me that, and I thought, oh, I love that. That's what I told them too.
Yeah.
That there were some husbands that got to watch
I
that.
wonder,
and
Doug, did you watch? If you're watching, and Doug and
We
Sally.
probably had the most male audience on that day.
Right.
yeah,
But they didn't know it was going to be men. You know, we probably could have
Oh,
announced it was going to be
yeah.
men. And
and Fred, I'm sure he enjoyed it. Yeah, there's
well,
a lot
Nona,
of husbands.
I think it was Nona Pontiff said that she came from a family of engineers, and it made her homesick thinking about
Aw.
talking about torque wrenches and all that kind of stuff. You know, Joe wrote that down. I said, Joe, no, they're not going to want to hear that. Well, he didn't listen to me. It's like,
That's hilarious.
and then one time, and I'm like, oh, he's going to tell that story about the torque wrench. But
But somebody liked
somebody liked it, so you know, I got to be calm.
Sometime you have to just take it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Just because you've heard it a million times doesn't
Yeah.
mean somebody else might want to hear it.
That's what I always thought. My dad, his experience in World War II was, I mean, he made friends for life in
Mhm.
World War II. And he would tell his stories. We could probably have repeated them, but you know, I'd give anything to be sitting there and listen to him tell those stories
Yeah.
one more time. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that was pretty special. So everybody, we're gonna have a drawing because we pulled together all kinds of really cool things this week.
Yeah.
If I can find them, they're probably down here with
Nope.
those dresses.
They're wrapped under the dresses that she couldn't
I mean,
find.
what in the world did I do? We have, this is a huge pile,
This is nice.
and this knit, I love this blue
Oh,
knit,
yes.
pink knit, the magazines. People love the ones with the ladybugs on them.
Uh-huh.
This is a great pile.
It's gonna be a really good weekend for somebody or next week.
Since I've been doing Tuesday's Treasures, I've been finding all kinds of. I just found a bin with like 15 PDF patterns that I had printed out and I haven't seen in a long time. And Michelle she's organizing my PDF patterns.
Michelle's standing over there with her face like.
I'm like,
"Mhm."
That's where they are.
Yeah.
That's where
Now
they
that
are.
she's organizing, look out, Michelle.
So we did have a lot of people enter our drawing, and thank you for doing that. Thanks for answering questions. I had to chuckle at Fred and Denise Ferris said, we asked about sleeves, and Fred was first. He's like, well, I like a sleeve of cookies, like a sleeve of Oreos, and a sleeve. And I'm like,
course
I
he would
never even
think of
thought of
that.
that. And then I just ate some crackers, and I'm like, yeah, I just had a sleeve of crackers.
Fred would think of that.
I
mean,
know.
That's hilarious.
So, anyway, we have flutter sleeves, angel sleeves, and all that kind of stuff. So let's see who wins. You want to draw?
All kind of sleeves. Like, okay, let's see.
Dottie.
Dottie Hubbard. Your giveaway looks wonderful. I like sleeves. I've made my granddaughter's dresses from the Children's Corner Mia pattern for
that's
Easter
that.
with angel sleeves. I also especially like the CC Ruthie pattern sleeves, both the line short sleeve and the long sleeve. As for me, my arms are camouflaged under sleeves on everything these days.
I'm
And so
with
are
you
mine,
on that.
hopefully.
So Dottie, we're totally with you. on
Dottie,
that.
you're going to get a nice package here.
Yeah, great.
Yay.
So thank you very much, and drive safely,
Yeah,
Regina.
I'm looking forward to the fun.
Man.
Fun to come.
So come and visit Regina on Come Sew With Me, YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, and
And-
also I'm going to be putting up a video on how to do these little tins.
Oh, good
just So you'll,
idea.
yeah, I've
Good.
recorded it. I just got to
Good.
get it edited and put on
Great.
the YouTube.
That's great.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.